Ryan Sinclair, Graham O'Brien, and Yasmin Khan didn't expect their lives to change when they noticed strange occurrences in Sheffield. As the terror unfolds further, they band with a mysterious amnesiac woman who may hold the key to their survival. Welcome, friends and companions. How are you today? I'm doing great. So, sci-fi and fantasy fans and all sort of fans meet on this channel. Front chats about their beloved books, movies, series, and franchises. We also talk about food and drinks, music and sport, and a special place on this channel for Doctor Who, my most beloved sci-fi series of all time. This channel has multiple names. Most of the time, it's called Random Entertainment Channel. Random, because we'll discuss everything that involves entertainment, including movies and series, books, and music. Random also, because we broadcast on non-fixed times, actually many different times. You need to subscribe to this channel to know what time the broadcast is. Random also, because we have no guests or different guests. It depends on what you join me in a live stream / panel. If you want to join me in a live stream, feel free to contact me via Discord or YouTube, and we will look what is possible. The Discord server is called Random Entertainment Channel Tech Doctor Who on Discord. And you will find me very quick because I bump the server regularly. So cheers, mate. Have lots of fun. This is your host, Enigmatic Joker. So, today we have the 13th Doctor story, Jodie Whittaker. And this story is called The Woman Who Fell to Earth. First of all, we do some general info about this story. Let's take a moment. Okay. So, The Woman Who Fell to Earth was the first episode of Series 11 of Doctor Who. In the United Kingdom, it earned the highest overnight ratings for a regular episode of Doctor Who since 2008's Partner in Crime, and was the most watched debut for a Doctor since Christopher Eccleston's initial turn in Rose, surpassing that episode by nearly 100,000 viewers. Woman was widely marketed as a landmark Doctor Who episode because it was the first to star a female Doctor and fully introduced Jodie Whittaker as the 13th Doctor. It was further notable for introducing an all-new regular cast, the largest since 1983's Terminus, and a new production team under showrunner Chris Chibnall. As a result, this episode had the biggest crew shift since 2010's The 11th Hour. Unusually, it had a global premiere, with many markets around the world having at least the same start time. Oddly though, it was initially broadcast in an altered visual form in some markets. Although it was the first episode of the program filmed in 2:1 aspect ratio, it is global premiere on networks like BBC America and Space, but actually in the previous standard of 16 to 9. This has the effect of truncating some of the frame. It did not include a title sequence and was the second episode of Doctor Who to have its title given in the end credits after Sleep No More 3 years earlier. As such, viewers had to wait until after the episode was over to hear the new arrangement of the Doctor Who team by incoming composer Segun Akinola. This marked Bradley Walsh's debut in Doctor Who, portraying full-time companion Graham O'Brien, and previously appeared as the Pied Piper in the Sarah Jane's Adventures episode The Day of the Clown in 2008. In 2020, Chibnall wrote and released a prequel to this 2018 story called Things She Thought While Falling on the Doctor Who website, set directly after Twice Upon a Time, as a threat during strange times due to the outbreak of coronavirus worldwide. So that's some general info. We don't dive into the plot. If you haven't watched and or listened to this story yet, I highly recommend you to do this. Otherwise, you can listen further to the plot. So, let's go then. So, Ryan Sinclair is making a YouTube video about the greatest woman he ever met and recounts a recent event. He recalls trying to ride a bicycle with his grandmother Grace and her husband Graham O'Brien on a hillside in Sheffield. Ryan struggles because of his dyspraxia and falls off the bike. Frustrated, he throws the bike into a forest. Grace and Graham comfort him, though they insist Ryan should collect the bike to try again another time, but they head off to the train station. As Ryan ventures to retrieve it, he sees glowing golden lines suspended in the air. He taps one and the purple-colored plant-like pot emerges. Ryan calls the police. Yasmin Khan, a probationary police officer, settles a petty dispute between two women before calling a superior. She asks for more demanding opportunities, and after much pestering, her superior gives her Ryan's case. As she arrives, she and Ryan quickly realize that they knew each other at primary school. Yasmin presumes Ryan's just pulling a prank, but Ryan remarks he can't even touch the entity, as it's freezing. Yasmin touches it, finding it burns her hand. Bewildered, she continues questioning Ryan. Meanwhile, Grace and Graham are riding on a train with a man named Carl when there is a disturbance which causes the train to come to a screeching halt when driver, Sissy Roberts, sees something fly at the cabin windows. Grace checks through the window, finding the passengers have fled the train. However, she finds the doors locked, meaning that they are unable to do the same. They call for Ryan and Yasmin before being encroached by an erratic, electrified tentacle creature. Grace calls Ryan, who rushes to the scene with Yasmin, and Graham orders Grace and Carl to the back of the carriage but finds it locked. Before the creature can reach them, they are temporarily saved as 13th Doctor comes crashing down through the ceiling and electrocutes the creature with a metal pipe. She turns to them, insisting she can help. However, she finds her pockets empty, meaning she cannot use her sonic screwdriver to open the door. The creature awakens and pins down Carl, who panics. The Doctor insists that he remain calm, as it has not killed them yet, so will not kill them now. Yasmin and Ryan enter the train, standing in shock at the sight of the creature. The creature scans Carl, then sends a surge of electricity through the passengers before fleeing. The Doctor begins to take charge of the situation, only for Yasmin to ask who she is. The Doctor asks why Yasmin is called her Madam. Perplexed, Yasmin says it's because she is a woman. Surprised by this, the Doctor then remembers that she was a white-haired Scotsman half an hour ago. She starts explaining as such, but returns to her investigating. She enters the driver's cart only to learn that the train's driver is dead. Yasmin initially thinks the woman was murdered, but the Doctor corrects that she actually died from shock. Returning to the others, Yas insists the Doctor should stop, claiming she will call for backup, but the Doctor convinces her to hold off on such until they figure out exactly what the alien was. Yasmin takes to questioning Carl instead, getting his phone number to keep in touch for further inquiries. The doctor is asked after by Grace, and she goes into a slight panic after remembering that her TARDIS exploded and disappeared. She presses on to other matters, though insisting the group needs to think of ways to learn more about the alien. Graham is skeptical that it was alien in origin, though Grace and Ryan voice they believe the doctor. Carl, siding with Graham, backs away, wanting to leave for work and just forget about the incident. Letting him go, the doctor asks the others for information about the creature. Ryan mentions the pot he found earlier, which Yes agrees to take the group to. However, when they get there, they find it has already been taken. Meanwhile, Andy, who has the pot in the back of his van, is delivering it to Rahul. On arriving, he expresses some concern for Rahul's well-being before reluctantly leaving when he pays him. Rahul surrounds the pot with video cameras to record it, then sits down and watches it intently. Elsewhere, the doctor asks the others to figure out if anyone in town has knowledge regarding any strange alien activity. Yes returns to her police station to ask her boss, but he dismisses her, giving her history of moaning for more work. Grace checks in with friends from when she was a chemotherapy nurse, but similarly turns up nothing. Graham offers to go and asks some bus driver friends about it. The doctor gets frustrated about not knowing the answers when she suddenly loses consciousness, being caught by Ryan. While Jess speaks to her superior, learning nothing of interest, Ryan tries to ask his friends from the bus station he used to work at, but one, Gabriel, just makes a joke about his wife and her friends playing bingo. Grace and Ryan take the doctor back home. While Ryan checks on social media, Grace notices the doctor's body coursing with an exciting regeneration energy, intriguing them both. Grace checks the doctor's pulse and finds to her bewilderment that she has two. With Rahul still filming the part, it suddenly becomes active, breaking open and exploding all of Rahul's cameras. He arms himself with a crowbar and readies himself to defend. Elsewhere, Jess and Graham have returned to the house when the doctor regains consciousness. She notices red pulsating lights shining from her friend's collarbones as well as her own. She realized that the strange electric alien from the train embedded them with DNA bombs, explosive devices that melt the victim's DNA. Reformatting Ryan's phone, the doctor then manages to track the source of disruption and they go after it. A large biomechanical creature emerges from the broken pot. Rahul demands to know about his sister, who had previously gone missing, when it kills him by freezing his face. Arriving on the scene as the alien flees, the doctor and Yas chase after it but lose it in the mist. The others find Rahul's body in the warehouse, and the doctor notices the absence of one of his teeth. Ryan spots the empty pot and the doctor inspects it, identifying it as a transport pot. Ryan reveals its origins after he touched the lines in the air while retrieving his bike. The doctor covers Rahul's corpse as a mark of respect. While Yes and Ryan go to investigate the warehouse, the doctor continues to examine the pot. She then decides to build herself a new sonic screwdriver. Yes tries to reassure Ryan that none of the debts are on him, They both wonder whether or not the doctor is really an alien. They then search a small room and find files of various missing people and a video on Rahul's computer titled "If I Die, Click Here." While gathering materials from around the warehouse and transport pod, the doctor tells Graham and Grace about her experiences with regeneration before proceeding to construct her new screwdriver. After she finishes, Ryan and Jess show them Rahul's video in which he talks about his sister Asya's disappearance and his desire to find out the truth in the knowledge that it may kill him. Scanning the pod again and finding the recall circuit, the doctor infers the aliens from the train and the pod are at war and are looking to fight on Earth. Gathering some equipment, Graham gets a call from his friend Kevin, who has information about the aliens' whereabouts. The alien from the pod kills a drunk male who was throwing his salad at it and takes a tooth from him as well. When it sees the electric alien discharge lightning from a tall building in the distance and goes after it. The doctor and the others reach the electric alien first and nullify it. Scanning it again, the doctor identifies it as a mass of gathering coils, a species which collects and correlates information, biologically engineered and augmented. She checks the data it has collected, discovering all of it is information about Carl from the train. The pod alien arrives behind them and, removing his mask to reveal his face implanted with his victim's teeth, identifies himself as Tim Cha, mispronounced as Tim Shaw by the doctor, of the Stenza warrior race. He had been sent to Earth on a hunt to seek out a random technology assistance and bring him back home. However, the doctor deduces he secretly sent the gathering coils ahead in advance and thus has broken the rules. Sa takes the information from the coil into himself via a physical connection and goes to hunt Carl. There he kills the security guard and proceeds to climb the crane to reach Carl. Chasing Tim Sa to Carl's job at the building yard, the doctor sends Graham and Grace to evacuate the site while she, Jess and Ryan make for the top of a crane to save Carl from the impending stanza. Even with Ryan's dyspraxia causing him difficulties, the trio make it to the top. The doctor orchestrates a plan in which Jess and Ryan move the crane arm around to meet Carl's crane so he can jump across. Before he has chance to do so, however, Tim Cha catches him and the doctor takes a running jump over to the other crane instead. Meanwhile, the gathering coil has restored itself and is attacking the other crane, so Grace tries to stop it by electrocuting it with power from the side's mains. Catching up with Tim Sa, the doctor offers him an ultimatum, having taken his pod's recall circuit. He can either leave or kill her and her friends and destroy the circuit. Making his choice, Tim Cha detonates the TNA bombs, but the doctor reveals she had implanted them back into the gathering coil with a sonic screwdriver, so he receives the physical effects instead, having taken the bombs into himself when he aborted the data from the coil. Throwing the circuit back to him, Carl kicks him off the crane as he teleports away, much to the doctor's anger. Grace holds the pylons to the coil as Graham opens the mains. The coil is overloaded by the shock, but the kickback shocks Grace and throws her from the crane to the ground, severely injuring her. Knowing her injuries are too grave to recover from, she tells Graham not to be afraid and dies, just as the doctor, Jess, and Ryan arrive, leaving Ryan and Graham grief-stricken. The episode goes back to Ryan's video, revealing he was talking about Grace the entire time. At Grace's funeral, The doctor approaches Ryan, who had been awaiting his father's arrival for 2 hours but has still not appeared. Later, with the others in attendance, Graham gives a heartfelt speech about Grace. Later that evening, he reveals that he met Grace while being treated for cancer. And yes asks the doctor about her own family. The doctor explains that her own family is long gone, but she carries them with her always while she travels. This reminds her that she still needs to find the TARDIS and tells her newfound friends that she stayed too long and needs to be moving on. Yes suggests that she change her clothes first. Yes and Ryan take the doctor to a charity clothing store. The doctor quickly goes behind the changing curtain with some choices, while Jess holds on to some more, both watching confusion as the doctor tosses various items of clothing out of the changing room, stating no to each one. The doctor then exclaims in joy, having found what she wants. In mere moments, the doctor pulls away the curtains to reveal what will be her new outfit, which consists of a long coat, a t-shirt with a rainbow pattern, and blue trousers. Yes skeptically asks if it is what the doctor wants, to which she confirms. She then asks Yes to pay for the clothes as she doesn't have any money with her. With a new outfit selected, the doctor builds a rudimentary teleport out of Tim Cha's technology, which she has programmed to track the TARDIS trail for Artron energy. It prepares to leave. Saying her goodbyes to Graham, Ryan, and Jess, the doctor sonics the devices and readies for departure. But something goes wrong, and the device teleports all four of them instead. On the other end, the doctor is shocked to see her friends floating behind her. All of them suspended and stranded in deep space. And that, my friends and companions, is the end of this story. The woman who fell to earth. And hello to Mujakina or something like that. Cupcake moans. I love cupcakes. Oh, brilliance. Oh, yes. Oh, brilliance. The 13th Doctor, Jodie Whittaker. Oh, brilliance. Yes. So, I will name some cast members in this story. Hello. Hello. Ik wil name some cast members. The Doctor is played by Jodie Whittaker. Graham O'Brien is played by Ridley Walsh. Ryan Sinclair is played by Tossin Cole. Yasmin Khan is played by Minute Gill. Race is played by Sharon Clark. D. Clark. Tim Shaw is played by Samuel Oatley. Carl is played by Johnny Dixon. Rahul is played by Emmett Shah. Sonia is played by Ashla Kingsley. Janie is played by Janine Mellor. Ramesh Sunder is played by Asif Khan. Andy is played by James Thackeray. Dean is played by Philip Abiodun. Dennis is played by Stephen McKenna. And Gabriel is played by Everell A. Walsh. So, some cast members. Some world building in this story. 7 things about the Doctor. First thing is that the Doctor has originally regenerated from her 12th incarnation, noting the 12 Doctor's Scottish accents. 12th Doctor is, of course, Peter Capaldi. Second thing about the Doctor is that before remembering her name, the Doctor states she is looking for a doctor. Yeah. Wow. Third thing is that the Doctor wonders what to call her new friends and suggests a team, troops, gang, and a fam. Fourth thing is that Grace discovers that the Doctor has 2 separate pulses. Fifth thing is that recovering from regeneration, the Doctor needs time to recuperate. Grace and Ryan see her hands and face glow with regeneration energy. Energy also leaves through her mouth. The sixth thing is that the doctor recalls having had longer legs, and the seventh thing is that the doctor has not bought women's clothes in a while. Some building in the TARDIS. Two things. The doctor remembers the TARDIS exploded and dematerialized, and the second thing is that the doctor attempts to track the trail of Artron energy from the TARDIS. She teleports to its approximate coordinates, but accidentally transports Ryan, Yasmin, and Graham with her. Mijakina says, "You notice me anyway. I like the first episode of Jodie. It's good in my opinion. Yes, I like it very much. It's a really good kickoff. And yeah." Some things with people in this story. First thing is that Janie and Tony have a parking dispute over a hammer smashed window, a keyed front door, and the parking spot. Another thing is that Yasmin and Ryan went to Redlands Primary together. So they know each other. Yasmin Khan is a police officer on second year probation, so she is still a pupil, aspirant. Fourth thing is that Ryan Sinclair is a warehouse worker while training to be a mechanic by getting an NVQ. And Ryan has dyspepsia. That's one of the reason why he is exercising with the bike to overcome it a little. Graham O'Brien is a retired bus driver. So he's retired. Grace O'Brien was once a chemotherapy nurse. That's the reason why Graham O'Brien and Grace meet each other, because he's for treatment. Tim Sa is a stanza warrior with plans to become their leader. So he has some ambition. Carl Wright has been randomly selected for hunting by the Stanza, and Carl works as a crane operator for his father's company, Skylark Building Services. About Graham, and Graham asks his friend Gabriel if he's been seeing anything strange lately. Gabriel responds about his wife going to karaoke with her friends. Graham realizes his persistent asking for how much time left sounds like a stuck record. Graham realizes he's persistent asking for how much time. So Graham's friend Kevin locates the gathering coil. And about things about Rahul. Rahul lost his sister Asha Chandra to the Stanza. And Rahul pays Andy to transport the pot in his lorry. About the security officer Dennis has a granddaughter named Daisy. He video chats with her just before she's killed. So tragic. Ryan's mom died 6 years ago. We know that from this story. And Ryan's father is not very reliable and skips the funeral. And we see in the later story we see Ryan's father, but it's for another time. The doctor mentions her family in this story. Some technology and with wall building technology. So Ryan tries to learn to ride a bicycle. Grace's car number plate is A463 BAM. Ryan clicks the button on the stanza pod acceptance lights. Yasmin has a police walkie-talkie, and Ramesh has an iPhone. And Yasmin feels compelled to check CCTV footage, but the doctor questions why she won't trust her own eyes. The gathering coil sends out a magnetic energy pulse all over the city. Another thing is that DMA bombs are planted on the doctor and her new friends. The doctor tracks the original signal with Ryan's mobile phone, which he recalibrated for his function. Uh, she can always do some special things. The doctor with mobile phones, by the way. The doctor can make a new sonic screwdriver from scrap using both earth and stanza technology. And some of the screwdrivers made from spoons made from Sheffield steel. Yeah, very creative, doctor. So Rail has a Logitech keyboard and a Samsung Sync Masters monitor. He has made a video called "If I Die, Click Here." Really, yeah, tragic. So the doctor says her new screwdriver is multi-purpose scanner, diagnostics, tin opener, acting like a Swiss Army knife, but without the knife. What yeah, very handy. So Steamcha's pod has recall in circuitry built in, and the Steamcha uses a short-range teleport. So Raoul's workshop contains a universal avometer. Dennis has an iPad. Jess and Ryan take torches to the top of the crane. And Ryan owns a Polaroid camera, and the doctor uses a Megger and a microwave as part of her transportation machine. Oh, yeah. Some world building in the culture. Ryan upholds a vlog of himself to YouTube, talking about his late grandmother. And the video is simply titled "Hey," and his YouTube channel is called Ryan S, which has 37 subscribers. So I really recommend you to subscribe to Ryan S' YouTube channel for more subscribers. So the video has 19 views and is released under standard YouTube license. Ryan's YouTube has the autoplay feature on, which would show Grumpy Office Blog weekly complaining bulletin by Rel Blog with 110 views. And there are also other recommended videos on this video. And Ryan searches Twitter and almost all things with culture in this story. So you see YouTube, Twitter, and also Grace uses WhatsApp to communicate with fellow nurses. So all communication, social media things in this story. It's also a thing that is interesting. So and other thing is that the O'Briens have a small frog statue. Tim Sa is taking part in the stanza hunt called the Ritual of the Stanza. The doctor promises on Scout's honor to be ready with a plan to stop the hunt. So actually the doctor is on with the Scouts. The Scout. Carl listens to You Are Valued, a motivational series, and Graham supports West Ham United. So also on football. He's West Ham United fan. Are here some West Ham United fans? Okay. Food and beverages. Ryan is eating sandwich. Raoul tells Annie to go have a pint on him, and gives him some money. And Raoul is chewing gum. The doctor's craving a fried egg sandwich. I promise they'll have a cuppa as well as the sandwich. All thing in with food and beverages is that they later by throwing his kebab salad consisting mainly of tomato and cucumber on the floor. And upon encountering Tim Sa, tosses some at him. Tim Sa later steps on it after killing him. And another thing is that advertising boards for Poker Pies decorate Sheffield Stadium. Some other things. So much world building in this story. Yasmin works for Hallamshire Police. Trash containers belonging to South Yorkshire Council are everywhere. Are things that a bus from the TM travel operator is seen. And Yeah, some things with species is that Stanza are warrior race and self-proclaimed conquerors of the 9 systems. And when Simsa says he will soon be leader, Dr. mocks him by asking if he's currently the office junior. The reason I mention all these things is that there's much world building because you can see that there is the choice is that to involve someone we think as human as mere a human factor as possible in this first story of the 13th Doctor. So yeah, that's the reason why I mentioned this all. There's almost some human things in this story. So and there are some also in this story much details about the companions and the struggles they have already. So there's much things in this story. We see that already, and that is the beginning of the start of the development of the characters during the series. We see the struggles they have. We see the things what they are doing in their daily life. So there is as a choice made in this story to already. So there's much happening in this story, and of course, when you see the new Doctor, and we see already development of a fan, actually. So I think this is a deliberate choice to do that. And so it develops further and further in this series. So some story notes. I already mentioned it. The episode doesn't feature an opening title sequence. But the new Doctor Who theme, composed by Segan Akinola, is partially played in the scene in which we are introduced to the Doctor, and then over to the closing credits, which have returned to a scrolling sequence not seen since the TV story The Time of the Doctor. And that's with the 11th Doctor, Matt Smith. This episode marks the first time since Victory of the Daleks over 8 years previously that the Doctor Who teams plays over Next Time trailers. The episode title, while at first glance appears to reference the Doctor's fall from her TARDIS, is also potentially a reference to Grace's death, since the episode is framed as a story that Ryan Sinclair is telling about the greatest woman he ever knew, his grandmother Grace. So there's some double meaning in this title of this episode. Actually, so instead of an opening title sequence, the BBC logo was shown at the beginning of the episode instead. However, on the DVD version of this episode, this is omitted. And another thing is that this is the first Doctor Who episode not to be scored by Murray Gold since the start of the revived era in 2005. This is the third post-regeneration story to feature no scenes inside its TARDIS, following TV story Spearhead from Space, that's with the third Doctor John Pertwee, and TV story Robot with the fourth Doctor Tom Baker, and the first in which TARDIS does not appear at all. It's also one of 11 television stories in which TARDIS does not appear at all. The others are stories are Mission to the Unknown. That is with Third Doctor William Hartnell, actually in the William Hartnell era. Doctor Who and the Silurians, that's with the Third Doctor John Pertwee, Man of Evil. Also Pertwee, Demons. The Sea Devils, the Sontaran Experiment, Genesis of Daleks, for Doctor, of course. Tom Baker. Midnight, that is with 10 Doctor David Tennant, The Lie of the Land. And an ascension of the Cybermen. Also with Uncle Peter Capaldi and yeah. So Simulate to Sleep No More. The episode title, as well as the writer, producer, and the director credits are shown at the beginning of the end credits instead of having a regular opening title sequence. It's with 12th Doctor Peter Capaldi. The end credits feature a preview of the remainder of the season, similar to TV story The 11th Hour of 11th Doctor Matt Smith. TV The Pilot, this is with 12th Doctor Peter Capaldi, including the names of several upcoming guest stars. This is also the first non-special episode not to air on a Saturday since TV story Survival. This with 7th Doctor Sylvester McCoy. The Doctor scream as she falls through the roof of the train is reused from TV story Twice Upon a Time. And the premiere of this also, this is a story marks the first time since The Faceless Ones in which there are 2 male companions traveling with the Doctor on a regular basis. This marks the first time, by the way, the theme music has been used during a TV story playing across the Doctor's entrance sequence. Okay. Some continuity, because stories and episodes are to some extent related to each other, linked to each other, reference to each other, and influence each other. Every time I rewatch stories and episodes, I discover new things and new. By the way, it's also interpretation here, some continuity, and that is the following. Doctor makes her entrance by crashing through the ceiling of the stopped train after having been dropped from the TARDIS. There's a link to Twice Upon a Time, and Prose thinks she thought while falling. Second thing is that the Doctor exhibits a Northern English accent. She previously had one in her 8th incarnation, TV movie Doctor Who with Paul McGann, and also in 9th incarnations TV story Rose et al. This Christopher Eccleston. A third thing is that the Doctor forgets her name. Her 11th incarnation once said he needed his name written down as he sometimes forget it at TV story closing time. A fourth thing is that the Doctor recalls having just been a white-haired Scotsman that her TARDIS is now missing, also reference to TV story Twice Upon a Time. A fifth thing is that the city of Sheffield has already been mentioned, where Rose Tyler participates in a TV game show, a TV story Bad Wolf, also with Christopher Eccleston era. A sixth thing is that the Doctor emits regeneration energy while resting. That's TV story The Christmas Invasion. That's with the 10th Doctor David Tennant. And 11th Hour, the 11th Doctor Matt Smith. A seventh thing is that the Doctor mentioned exploding TARDIS could be the end of the world. There's also there's a link to TV story The Pandora Opens in the Big Bang, the 11th Doctor. Eighth thing is that the Doctor spends almost the entire episode wearing her predecessor's clothes, as the 11th Doctor had done in TV story The 11th Hour. While making her sonic screwdriver, the Doctor holds up a spoon excitedly, as her predecessor had done in TV story Robot of Sherwood, having sent and hell-bent, as well, of course, the 12th Doctor, Peter Capaldi. A tenth thing is that the Doctor has previously fallen from a great height and survived. TV story The End of Time. With the 10th Doctor, the Lieutenant, albeit once by regenerating in TV story Logopolis, dus met de 4th Doctor Tom Baker. 11th thing is that the Doctor once again suffers from post-regenerative memory loss. So it's the case in TV story, TV movie Doctor Who with Paul McGann. The Time of the Doctor is with Matt Smith, and loses consciousness because of the process. See a TV story The Christmas Invasion and In Deep Breath. This were respectively the 10th and 12th Doctor. 12th thing is that the Earth had been used as a hunting ground before, in the audio story Moving Target and the comic Bloodsport. 13th thing is that the Doctor makes her own sonic screwdriver. Amy Pond once similarly created a sonic probe in the TV story The Girl Who Waited. To make a sonic screwdriver, the Doctor uses spoons. Her predecessor previously used spoons to make sonic devices. He pros the blood cell. The Gathering Core plants DNA bombs, albeit of different design, to that which afflicted John Hart in the TV story Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, and that is in the Doctor Who spin-off Torchwood. Now we are now have I mentioned 20 things. So now we go further. So the Doctor admits to craving a fried egg sandwich. The 11th Doctor also experienced cravings after regenerating in the 11th hour. The Doctor wears similar safety goggles to the ones the 11th Doctor once used in TV story The Doctor's Wife. The Doctor confronts Tim Sal on a rooftop with her companions. He also mentions that she is not a human. The 11th Doctor had a similar confrontation with the Atraxi immediately after his regeneration in TV story The 11th Hour. And before jumping from the crane, the Doctor says, if you want something done without finishing. And this is also with the Time of the Doctor. Before changing her costume, the Doctor mentions she has not bought women's clothes in a while. It's also in TV Minnesota's First Night, Last Night. Another thing that the 9th Doctor tried to exchange his Edwardian gear for jeans and trainers on X-Farm in Sheffield in 2004. In prose, who have you seen this man? Another thing is that the Doctor has encountered an individual with literally cold touch once before in TV story Dragonfire. That's with 7th Doctor Sylvester McCoy. The 10th Doctor also pondered how to collectively address his companions, in this case Rose and Mickey, also considering the words gang and team, as well as comrades. TV story School Reunion. Ryan's father, Aaron, later explains why he did not attend Grace's funeral. We see that in TV story Resolution. And the last thing is that Carl would appear again in TV story Eve of the Daleks. And that, my friends and companions, is all I have to say about this story. Time for commercial. Time for the commercial. So, sci-fi fantasy fans and all sort of fans meet on this channel for their fun chats about their beloved books, movies, series, and franchises. We also talk about food and drinks, music and sport, and a special place on this channel for Doctor Who, our most beloved sci-fi series. Random because we discuss everything that involves entertainment, including movies and series, books, and music. Random because we broadcast on non-fixed times, actually many different times. That's also the case with the Doctor. Doctor travels through time and space in his TARDIS, in past, present, and future. And to me, the reason I do the live streams on different times is that I want to meet as much people as possible. I actually want to meet you. So you need to subscribe to this channel to know what time the broadcast is. Different time zones, yeah. So random also because we have no guests or different guests. It depends on what you join me in live stream or panel. If you want to join me in live stream, feel free to contact me via Discord. You can meet me there and contact me there and we can talk. Or you can put a comment under one of the you could put a comment under one of the YouTube videos of this channel. By the way, you can find some different playlists on this channel with the different doctors, the stories. And you can also find playlists about the personality of the different incarnations of the doctors, the companions. So, and actually, this is a sort of encyclopedia. This channel. So the Discord channel is called Random Entertainment Channel Tech Doctor Who. On this board, if I'm very quick because I bump the server regularly. So cheers, mate. Have lots of fun as your host, Enigmatic Joker. So I'm looking forward to meet you. See you next time. Have a nice day. Bye bye.